Everyone in the Jurassic World Evolution community is waiting for some DLC at this point, right? Everybody wants some extra content from this new game that has come out not too long ago, a month, and people are already looking forward to the future and basically like shouting for it, okay? Because let's be honest, JWE is a great game, it's a lot of fun. However, there's some limitations there that the game hasn't really been fleshed out the way it could be. It hasn't really got as much content as maybe some of us hoped it would. However, let's look at the future. Let's talk about DLC for a second. I do want to say though, before we do get into anything, that I made a previous DLC video. I'll have that link down in the description, where we talk about the possibilities of what could be coming to Jurassic World Evolution. But today I just kind of want to focus on when this sort of stuff could be coming and when we could actually possibly see it. So we're going to take a look at Frontier as a studio, okay? So they started off with Elite Dangerous, and then they went on to Planet Coaster, and then they did some Zoo Tycoon stuff, and then they jumped into Jurassic World Evolution. So if we skip Zoo Tycoon, because I don't really count that as a nah. So we'll just focus on Elite Dangerous, Planet Coaster, and JWE, okay? Primarily, we're going to be focusing on Planet Coaster and JWE, because I don't think Elite Dangerous is really that relevant right now. It came out too long ago. The studio has developed since then. But I just thought I'd throw that in there just anyway. So let's have a look at Planet Coaster. Let's start off with Planet Coaster. Let's see what sort of a game Planet Coaster is, okay? So after Elite Dangerous, and Elite Dangerous obviously, it made Frontier a crap ton of money, okay? It's a hugely popular game, and it still is. And it made them a ton of money, which allowed them to expand their studio, I presume, okay? It gave them more sort of manpower and firepower behind their studio, okay? So moving into Planet Coaster, they had a lot more resource to be able to develop this sort of DLC content and extra content that they could introduce into their games, okay? Because if you look at the DLC schedule for Elite Dangerous and then for Planet Coaster was a lot more sort of frequent than Elite Dangerous. I'll be fair, I'll be honest, I don't really know Elite Dangerous's sort of schedule with DLC, but I know Planet Coaster was very sort of like, you know, one after the other, okay? So looking at JWE, after the success of Planet Coaster, they could probably have more resource even for JWE as well. So looking at DLC and looking at how the game's launched, okay? So Planet Coaster, it launched in November, sorry. The first DLC pack was out in December, and then the following one came out in April, okay, of 2014, I think. So if we look and compare that to JWE, what have we had so far? Well, in JWE we've had the game launch in June, and then about 1 to 2 weeks after, we've had the Fallen Kingdom DLC, we'll call it a patch, Fallen Kingdom patch, which added more content. So taking on from that, what sort of similarities have we got? Well, the game for Planet Coaster launched, and then they released a winter update 1 month after, okay? And then 4 months after that, they released their first sort of big DLC sort of expansion type thing that added new content and new stuff to the game. So if we apply that to JWE, we've had the game launch, a DLC pack 1 week after launch, and then if we go 4 months after that, so June, July, August, September, October, 4 months October, could we be seeing our first expansion slash DLC pack in October? I think it's possible. Do I think it could be sooner than that though? Well, let's look at the evidence, okay? So JWE, obviously they wanted to tie in the Fallen Kingdom sort of stuff, right, with when the movie launched, okay? The movie launched in June, on somewhen, I can't remember. Actually, it came out before the game, didn't it, in UK? So if we go an America release, which was the 22nd, I think, it came out on the 22nd. So yeah, it was like about, I think, 10 days, something like that, 10 days to 2 weeks after the game launched that we had this Fallen Kingdom patch. So I imagine we're going to be getting our first DLC or type content thing in late September, early October, I reckon. That's my guess, okay? I don't really have anything to back it up, apart from the previous game's sort of DLC releases. But looking at Frontier as a studio, they're very, very proactive. And if Universal are behind them saying, "Hey, let's get some more content on this thing. Okay, we want more money," they're gonna like get behind that, right? So let's look at what sort of DLC it could be. Wow, if we look at Planet Coaster's April update, okay, which was the first big one, it added new game mechanics such as crime, and it added some, I think, buildings as well. Okay, so applying that to JWE, we could get some new mechanics. I have a couple in mind. Cleaners, umbrellas, something else. Maybe some more dinosaurs, maybe some more buildings. Literally, they could go crazy. And then obviously they could, as well, if they really wanted to, they could add a crime system into it, which you could bring in like security and all of this sort of stuff. Because we haven't really touched on that in Jurassic World, like, as a whole, right? We don't really see that in the films. I don't think we see it in any other material. So that could make JWE a little bit more sort of separate from the films and stuff. They could add that extra layer of sort of theme parky stuff, you know? Another thing that you have to manage, you have to keep these security guards paid so they like protect your visitors and not have, like, I don't know, people pickpocketing or whatever. So yeah, I don't think the first update for this game is going to be massive. Like, don't expect an Avery update or an aquatic update, okay? I think that will be coming later down the line. I think they're going to want to spend more time on that sort of stuff. So I imagine that they're going to be focusing on smaller updates, maybe like another dinosaur pack or something like that, just to tide us over until these big aviary and aquatic stuff actually come through. Like, there's nothing stopping them, I guess, from doing, like, I don't know, a reptile DLC where it's like prehistoric reptiles or something, I don't know, and you have this new type of enclosure, you know? Who knows? Who knows what Frontier are thinking? But that is sort of my gist, or my sort of thinking on sort of the DLC release for JWE. I don't think we should expect aviary or aquatic anytime soon. I think from the interviews that Frontier devs have done, I think they're going to want to spend more time on this sort of stuff, because I think the aquatic and the aviary DLC rather is going to be a main focus for the studio, and it's going to be a big thing when it comes out, so they're probably going to want to make it perfect. But in between that gap, between that DLC coming out and the launch of the game, I imagine that they're going to want to release like some smaller DLCs. Hell, we could even have maybe a couple of months time, or a month's time, whatever, because we're in July now, another dinosaur pack, you know? It could just be like 6 more dinosaurs that they've just plucked out of the lore and been like, hey, have some more dinosaurs, you know? Who knows? Honestly, it could be anything. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'm super interested to hear what you guys think. What do you think will be the first DLC expansion for JWE? And when do you think we'll get it, you know? Do you think I'm right in following the Planet Coaster sort of schedule, or do you think Frontier are going to change it up on us and release it a little bit sooner? I don't know. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe if new. More JWE content coming pretty much every day now. But yeah, I will see you guys in another video / stream very, very soon.